In the 1700s, England's south coast was a smuggler's paradise, and two women ruled it.
First, Lovey Warne. Lovey was born into a very well-known smuggling family in the New Forest. She was especially well known for climbing up hills and cliffs and wearing a bright red cape to flash when any customs officers were nearby so that smugglers would not be caught. They'd be aware of the customs officers' presence. Now, she had a very unique mode of smuggling. She would wrap her body in the silks and the cloths that were contraband, and she would wear her own clothes over the top, obviously slipping by the customs officers who would never suspect that a woman would probably be so devious and so criminal as to engage in smuggling. She never was caught, but she came close. In a local pub one night, a customs officer got a bit handsy with her. He put his hand up her skirt, and on the one hand probably afraid for her life, and on the other hand probably afraid that he would find the contraband, she, and I love this bit, punched him in the eye. Lovey was laid to rest in the New Forest and is still a very well-known figure. In fact, she's actually had a local beer named after her, which we can only think that the smugglers would have appreciated.
Christchurch was practically a smuggling town, with extensive tunnels running under the streets and even, legend has it, linking pubs. By far the most dramatic part of Hannah's story was probably the Battle of Ludderford. What happened was a smuggling ship, probably known to Hannah, or at least captained by someone she knew, had been hounded for days and for nights by customs officers. When the ship finally managed to make its way into port here, it knew it didn't have long before the customs officers would be aboard. They wanted to find that illicit cargo. Now, they came in, they got hundreds of men to help unload the illicit cargo, to hide it, probably in Hannah's pub and elsewhere in the local area. It ended up being such a rush after a customs vessel was seen that Hannah actually got her customers from her pub out and helping to unload all of the cargo. When the customs officers finally made it into the bay, they were fired at by the smugglers, and they returned fire, pointing their cannons at Hannah's pub. Luckily, though, all of them missed. When the customs officers came ashore, they arrested 3 of the smugglers. They were very angry. One of their own had been killed, and they sent them to court. 2 of them managed to get off, but one of them was sentenced to death. He was hanged at Execution Dock, and his body was brought back here and hung up in chains outside Hannah's own pub front door. Hannah became known as the Angel of the Marsh, an independent woman giving shelter to those evading capture. She's even been immortalised when a nearby waterway, often used by the smugglers, was named after her, Mother Sellers Strait.